So as we draw towards the end of 2025, we've seen manufacturers like Hero MotoCorp and even TVS jump onto the performance scooter bandwagon with offerings like the Zoom 160 and the NTORQ 150. But for a manufacturer like Aprilia, who's already been accustomed to the space over the course of time, at least in India, with an offering like the SR160, well, they have chosen to upgrade that model, and lo and behold, here lies the new and updated SR175. So it is up on displacement, up on power and torque as well. Has a couple of more features in there to enhance the overall performance scooter oriented feel. And of course, it is meant to take on the likes of the Zoom 160, the NTORQ 150 and even the Yamaha Aerox 155. So how well does this scooter fare in today's day and age? You're about to find out. So like always, let's start off with the looks and aesthetics of the scooter. Design-wise, it does resemble pretty much the 160 that we've already seen before. Very sleek, slender, petite in its styling and quite aerodynamic and sporty as well. But it does look very Italian in its styling, but yeah, like unlike most Italian supermodels with those big 14-inch wheels at both ends clad in those 120/70 section tires, well, this model looks to have gone to the gym and worked out quite well. Aesthetically, you get some new sticker works on there, LED headlight. The turn indicators, well, they unfortunately are halogen bulb units, and that is a bit of a downer given this day and age where scooters are all coming out with full-on LED units all around. You get a new contoured seat. That's a new style seat. It is a one-piece seat which has been given this two-step kind of feel with this cut in the middle. We will get down to how that functions out on the road in a bit. The taillight, once again, LED unit. And of course, minimalistic body styling. You have a telescopic fork up front, single step monoshock at the rear, some preload adjustment in there at the rear as well. The scooter certainly looks the part, and when it comes to performance scooters, well, Aprilia certainly have a formula that they haven't really toyed with over the course of time, but it still works in this day and age. So that's quite nice, because with the new sticker works, the new decals and the new colors that have been inspired from the larger RS 457 models, well, this scooter certainly looks part of the new generation or the new lineup of Aprilia vehicles that have come out in India. So in terms of features, you get a disc up front, drum at the rear, standard affair, and of course single channel ABS on this unit. And that is pretty much all the assistance that this scooter offers in terms of electronic aids. You have a new TFT instrumentation cluster that replaces the older analog unit. Keeping with the times, it looks quite nice and it feels very premium to look at as well. Now you have a lot of information to toggle through on the go. You have fuel average readouts, you have 2 trips, you have your clock, your average speed, and of course something that I didn't quite fancy with this particular unit is, although you have the option of adjusting your brightness on the go, you can have an automatic setting as well. You have 2 themes to choose from as well, but in one theme where you do actually, the one which actually looks nice and sporty with a digital needle, well, you have a speedo readout which actually could have been replaced with a tachometer, because in fact there are 2 speedometer readouts on the same display theme, so that's a bit of a downer. And yeah, aside from that, you have 2 mode buttons in terms of switchgear to toggle through those controls. It could have been a lot simpler. You could have had just 1 mode button on there and it could have pretty much sufficed. But aside from that, very premium feel overall. Now you don't have start-stop technology in there. You simply have an engine kill switch, which is very motorcycle-like, and you don't have a rear brake lock as well. And in terms of riding aids, you simply have single-channel ABS on the disc up front, which cannot be switched off on the go. When it comes to the seating position of the scooter, unlike the Aerox 155 and the Zoom 160, you can actually swing your leg through this one and get aboard. But yes, seating space and foot space for that matter is at a premium, because you don't have a lot of space to move around and play around with. If you fancy carrying your parcels in between your feet, well, you will have to really look at another option because you don't have a lot to work with this one. But yes, this is a performance scooter. If you want to take your parcels along with you as you go, well, there are other better options to actually look at. Upright riding position, nice flat handlebar. Well, the seat height position is quite nice as well. It is rather tall given the 14-inch wheels. So if you actually pull up alongside something like an Activa or a Jupiter, well, this does feel slightly taller, and it does give you a little more commanding road presence, of course, once you actually get down to riding it. So that's really nice. But something that I didn't really fancy, although the seat, well, the density of the foam has changed, well, the contour of the seat is not that impressive, because although it does seem rather flat as compared to before, you still tend to land up sliding forward. If you're into riding fast and you brake hard, you're gonna slide off this thing in a jiffy. So that's something I didn't quite fancy with this. Pillion seat is quite decent on the go. That's what my wife told me, at least, and she was quite happy with the way it looks and the comfort level it provides. Alright, now let's talk performance and handling. This scooter comes powered by the new 174cc air-cooled motor. It makes obviously a little more power than the 125. It is up on smoothness and refinement than something like the SR160, the model that it replaces. Power and torque is rated at around a little over 13 PS of max power and 14 Nm of max torque, and it's spread very nicely lower down the power band, and it eases off towards the top. Now, getting off the line from 0 to around 40 kilometers per hour is just a breeze with this one. It really has a good amount of shove to it. You feel the grit actually with this engine, because it is a 3-valve SOHC unit, not as refined as something like a 4-valve liquid-cooled motor that powers like something like the Aerox 150 and the Zoom 160. But yes, there is a certain amount of grit to be felt as soon as you ring the throttle, and that gives you that nice performance-y feel that you'd expect from a brand with Aprilia badging on it. So that's really nice, not only in terms of performance, in terms of ride and handling as well. 14-inch wheels at both ends, you tend to think that, oh yeah, this might feel a little lazy or lackadaisical in the city, but not so much so with this one. It looks petite, looks sporty, and it actually performs in the way it expected to out in the city or even out in the open highway. At speeds of around 80 kilometers per hour, well, the scooter can just munch on kilometers at that speed all day. It doesn't feel out of place at all. Okay, fine, getting from 80 to around 100 kilometers per hour may take a bit of time and space, but yeah, once you actually get to 100 kilometers per hour, an indicated 100 kilometers per hour, it is very composed at that speed as well. You don't feel like you're going to lose control or anything in a straight line. Even the cornering aspects are very nice with the suspension being on the stiffer side. But yeah, there's a downside to that as well. The older you are, the more likely you are to not fancy this particular scooter, because yeah, that is going to take a toll on your spine as well. So the more lively and enthusiastic your riding style, you will really fancy the scooter in terms of ride, handling and performance. The brakes and the tires, well, you'd really not want to push the scooter into a corner, but given its dynamics and the feel that it gives you once you actually ring the throttle, it kind of eggs you on to actually do so. And once you do test the limits of the scooter, that's where you'll come out impressed, because it has a good amount of handling and dynamic characteristics that you would not associate from a scooter, but it actually gives you that.
Although the SR175 might have quite a number of tiny areas and details that could be improved on, what remains a fact about the scooter that exists as of today is that it still continues to be a thoroughly fun and exciting scooter to ride, just like the older SR160. Sure, the ride is stiff, the feel at the bar is sporty, and it's got the look and quality feel, and better still, the agility and initial performance to back up its brand heritage. And although it may not be as tech and feature laden as some of the competition out there currently, its tried and tested, rather simplistic approach to the performance scooter segment is something that still works for a lot of people, and it's left me quite impressed as well.
Alright, now in conclusion, to wrap things up out here with the SR175. Now, if you fancy yourself an Aprilia scooter with Aprilia badging, well, this scooter definitely backs up that entire Aprilia ethos that comes with the brand, because in terms of ride and handling, dynamics, performance, this scooter definitely has a lot of character and, well, the performance to actually back it up. But then again, there are some quirks that Aprilia still have to work out in the form of, well, the scooter doesn't have any ride modes or traction control, but yet there are still 2 mode buttons on there that could have been simplified. The dash, the layout could have been a little better as well. Brake lock, adding a rear brake lock would have added a little more convenience. I know I'm being a little picky. The design of the seat could have been better as well. A little more flatter would have really worked in my favor at least. But yes, even the underseat storage, the lack of an external fuel filler lid, definitely a letdown in this particular day and age, given the competition already have that kind of thing going with them. But yes, in terms of performance and handling dynamics, this scooter, given its segment, the performance scooter segment, definitely is a force to be reckoned with given its current pricing. If you're curious and you want to know what the exhaust note of the SR175 sounds like, let me fire it up for you. Yep, that's what it sounds like. A lot of people are curious to know what exhaust notes sound like these days. But there you go. Let us know what you think in the comments.